Hey everyone. Yeah, I've got a pretty big announcement to make, and it's something that's literally the first time in my 47 years that I've been alive. But I'm actually joining and supporting an actual political party in Canada. Well, actually, two political parties in Canada. One is the Libertarian Party of Canada. I've joined and I've even made a donation. First time ever making a financial donation to a political party. Like I say, I don't know if it's the greatest decision I've ever made in my life, but hey, these kind of things matter so much to me that I feel I've got to step up my game. And as much as I kind of reject politics as a premise of how we deal and negotiate with each other, I think personally we should all just live under, universal rules that are morally and philosophically consistent, and everybody just goes about their business, and there isn't any pretense where you get to shift them or change that paradigm based on the preference or edicts of political actors. I personally think politics is way downstream of culture, but what we're seeing today is our political opponents, or at least the political establishment, those who have spent years, decades building up their institutions and their support base, while they've been running rickshod over the rest of us, because we, even as much as we try to remain on the sidelines and not delve into the political fray, what's that saying? You can avoid politics, but politics won't avoid you. So, as much as, like I say, I'd rather not join into the fray in regards to politics, I'd rather stick to my principles and just educate and inform people properly and hopefully shift the culture in this Canada so that politics really doesn't mean a whole lot. Once again, I realize that I'm going to have to step up my efforts, and I'm realizing that I have to be more pragmatic and at least put a little more skin in the game at this point, in the hopes and anticipation of putting this country back on the proper track, on the proper course, on the proper path to genuine individual freedom and liberty, both social and economically. So yeah, in addition to joining the Libertarian Party of Canada and supporting them, well, you know darn well I did the same thing for Maxime's People Party of Canada, his newly formed People's Party of Canada. I've joined that and made a financial donation there as well. So I've got skin in the game at this point, and who's to say that at some point in time, maybe in the very near future, I might step up the game even more. I might have to delve into the political fray even further by becoming a candidate at some point in time. Not saying that's going to happen right now. I'm going to run that through my mind for a little while longer. I'm going to chew on that a whole lot more before I actually decide whether I want to swallow that or not. I want to get some semblance, some taste in my mouth before I delve into it too far, or before I bite off more than I can chew. That would not be a decision that a person like myself would ever take lightly. Like I say, I kind of prefer to stay on the sidelines, right? And be that moral compass, that moral beacon that has no background in politics where you can say, oh yeah, but you were against government, but you became part of government. I recognize that that's an area that I have to work through, like I say, before I could ever come to any decision such as joining a party and actually becoming an actual candidate that functions within a political party. But who knows, folks? Like I say, when I'm looking out there on the landscape, I'm starting to recognize and realize more and more every day that if people like myself don't step up to the plate, well, someone else will take your place instead, and maybe they're not going to be as principled. Maybe they're not going to stand for the proper values and principles that a genuine libertarian like myself actually holds dear and adheres to. If you want to be a leader of liberty, another area where that can actually happen, where that can actually take place, where you can, I guess, change the culture in some form or fashion, is in the realm of politics. And mostly simply by not just legislative acts, right? Not just imposing your will on people, but by having the bully pulpit, by having the media have to cover you, have to actually listen to what you've got to say and actually report it to the people. So I'm not telling you what to do, and I'm not suggesting that you should necessarily have to join any political parties, but I'm just saying for myself personally, I've recognized that I have to step up my efforts. I have to do more, and I have to lead by example and do whatever I can to fight back against these collectivists that are constantly trying to destroy any semblance of social or economic freedoms in this country. Liberty is definitely rising in Canada, and no matter whether I become a candidate or just keep doing what I'm doing, I want to be on the right side of history and maintain my position as a leader of liberty in this country. It's a Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.